So yes, I wanted to do some kind of like touch base on uplines, on the three basic ones I do. The majority of my rope journey and self suspension journey, I have not done proper uplines, but I got away with a lot. And I don't know. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. I don't know. But I'm fine. I typically have always used jute uplines, but now I kind of use dedicated ones. I use the reinforced jute. They still have the feel of jute. But that's a whole debate. I mean, there's nothing really wrong with jute uplines as long as you're rotating them and you're looking at them. So anyway, we'll go ahead and do just some kind of harness that you can lift, or something that you can bear weight on. We're not really going to be doing lifting for this, but this is how I've been coiling my rope recently. The benefit is you know exactly where the bite is. It is the longest part right here. And then all this junk right here will stay together, but what you do is you hold it right here. And so that way when you're ready to tie, the whole thing comes apart. Depending on how tight you do it, it can come apart easier. But and the way you achieve that is you double your rope to where your bite and your working ends are. And the reason too is like the bite and the working ends are really all you need to keep track of. Everything else is just noise. So you got your bite and your working end, and that's all you really need. And so with the rest of your rope, what you'll do is if you've got a 10-meter piece or an 8-meter, you'll double it again, but you won't double it completely, you see, because you want to leave that bite hanging. And then you do a slip knot with whatever you have left. Just like that. And so that way everything's squidded up and good, and when you're ready to tie, it's all ready to go, and you have minimal tangling on itself. See that? The fact that I can do that pull through without it like coiling on itself, because a lot of times when you coil rope and then you have it ready to pull and tie, it'll snag on itself. So okay, I've just been wanting. I don't feel like that's worth a whole class, but I've been wanting to show that recently because I store rope all the time off to the side, and it can be fucking messy. And this doesn't require a bite saver or anything because your bite is just free. So doing this as I untie helps keep the rope all in order and everything like that too. So I just wanted to touch on that because it's been a big benefit to me lately. Anyway, so we will do a chesty. Take my stupid thing off. One of these curls got fucking crazy today. Don't look at that one. Okay. Just do something simple that you can lift or support. Even just like a thigh tie or whatever, where you can lift your thighs is honestly, that may be one of the best ways to start, especially if you don't have a load-bearing hard point, is because you can lift your thighs just a little bit and feel that pressure. But I'm going to do chesty. Shorty. You know what? I bet you anything a shorty is going to be too short. No. We'll go into the shoulder straps right away. For a lot of my suspension chest harnesses, I do 4 wraps these days, but I can either take a 10-meter piece and like a shorty or super shorty, or like almost damn near 2 8-meter pieces. So, for this demonstration, we're going to skip that. just wondering when that dude was gonna snap me. Do not disturb. Busy. I was sitting here like, sure is quiet. The dude's been blowing me up. Okay. So, uplines, I don't know how to do them. I'm just kidding. The most basic one is just like a single column. And this is mostly, so like if you're adding somebody's foot in, for instance, you can think of it like that. Or, you can basically with this one, this is not the double bite one, so you wouldn't want to put like heavy weight on the suspension line like this. But what you do, let's see, go through once and twice. Let me see, how's the best way to show this? That's like the worst way. Okay, this isn't appropriate. This is the best way. Yeah, go through once and twice, and you're good. It's a single column, essentially. So, I mean, it is. So what you'll do is you'll do like a bow line or something, and you'll trap it. You see, and again, I love the bow line. I love the bow line because I have it. I have it right here. The whole thing. You just gotta walk it closed, but this is a lot of difficulty around the things, but I think being able to relax with them is a beautiful thing too. So this bite is a little bit long. I actually do want to shorten that. Okay, here we go. Okay. So this is, like, honestly, if this was somebody's ankle right here, this would be like the upline. But the thing is, you want to take it through the bite. And I think it's more of just like a precaution in case the thing collapses and stuff. I can't remember exactly what. But after you loop it, and then you come back. So here's the thing: is like you've gotten it like loaded and stuff. And coming back, you have several options. Typically, with the double bite, you have like more things you can do. But this is supposed to be for like just a limb or something like that, like a quick addition. Usually, you'll want to come back under the cuff. Friendly, you're in the splash zone. So I tell people when I'm like doing rope around them. Okay, and so then you'll bring your load into it or whatever. And then let's see, I can't remember what it's called, but you'll do like a double. One way of locking this off would be a double wrap. So you would take one, and then you would go around again, and then again. And then I think it's a hitch at this point. Yeah, go around again, and then, can you see this very well? Yeah, wrapped it twice. And you make that. And then, now the proper lock off, or the whatever, or the one that is like most favored, is where you do the loop, and you feed the bite through, or whatever you just made, and then you loop it again. There, and that's your upline. I mean, there's ways to clean up the excess rope, etc. That's something we can go through once we actually work on the ring or something. But essentially that, to me, is like a standard lock-off. And it's something I do myself, but more for, I feel like it's more meant for, it's the proper thing to do, but if I'm suspending somebody else, everything is going to look like that probably. Or, things like that. I'm probably not going to do quick release anything. Real quick, just to show you how I would do a quick release on this one. So say we've come up under the cuff again, we've wrapped it twice, and we're going in for our hitch. We do that, and then we reach through that hitch, and we do it again. And you make sure that you close it. And see, this isn't a good, hold on, this is not a good position to do it. Let's see. And that's the other thing. This thing has to be done in a way, and you need to have like load too, like, okay, something like that. And usually you have a lot like less excess, or you can wrap this up or whatever. But the benefit is, and you know, you see it in pretty much all of my photography from the early days, is when you want to pull it out, the whole thing comes out. So that is just something that I traditionally have done a lot, because you can do them quick. There it is right there. You're suspended, you got whatever, now you need to release that limb. So it's something we'll go over, we'll probably look at, but I'm not really going to espouse that or teach that, because it's more of a self-suspension thing, I feel like. And it's more of a, I don't know, sketchy. Okay, just say it, it's sketchy. Sketchy is fine. Whatever. Okay, anyway, let's do a double bite up on the ring, and then we'll do like a Y hanger or something. And y'all can use the chat box too, if y'all need me to stop or go back on something, or if you have questions. Okay, so that's so messy. I could have done a worse job having a nice messy chest harness. We're gonna do the double bite on this one, so it's gonna be very similar. We're not gonna do Y hanger or anything. It's just gonna be a single column again. So we go through once, come back, go through again, and then with our other finger, we're opening up this to about where we want it. So this is about where we want the cuff. That's about all the space we want in the cuff right there. So let's shorten the bite. Oh wait, no, actually, we want a little bit of bite on this one. Actually, that is true. So go ahead and save it. Do your single column. So it is like this. Now you do the little road trick. And remember, so I'm holding the Somerville bowline right here. All that needs to happen is these two bands, or even just one of them, can come up under, through here and out through here. I know that's not good teaching. But again, I just like to illustrate as much as I can how much you can hold that thing in weird ways, and it still comes out just fine. Okay, so there is your bowline. Now what you do here is you come through the bite, and you make one of these little lock-offs that we showed you a minute ago. And then you loop it again. Now, if you loop it and it doesn't work, you may be tempted to loop it twice in the same direction. You need to reverse it. So let me show that one more time. Let me show going the wrong way and what it'll look like if you mess up. Because I found doing the little loopy things, that confused me for a minute. Sometimes like you have to go the opposite way. Let's see. So you got your little bite here. You pull through there. You make a loop. So that's the proper way. If you were going the wrong way, it would be like that, right? Or does that work too? No, that works too. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway. So pull that through. Loop, eat it up, and then you can close it once, and then you do the same thing. Loop it, feed it through, and that is your upline with a double bite. And here is the benefit to it. This is more for actual loads. One day we'll get this figured out. So come up through it. Actually, so when you're working with double bites, a lot of time it's going to go in one direction, and especially if I'm working on bamboo, I found this, I don't know why, probably just because I've been working on bamboo lately. You need to start going in the right way if you want to utilize your double bite. Because if you go this way and you want to pull, like, I mean, you can probably do it. It just seems all, maybe it's my OCD or something. But anyway, sometimes I'll throw the rope over and be like, oh, that's the wrong way. So right now, this would be the right way to go over because the bite is coming out to the left. If I went from the left to the right, like, I don't know. I don't know if it's like an actual thing or if it's just a me thing. Anyway, so we're going to go and we're going to load here in this direction. Okay. And then we're going to come through this double bite. And then we're going to come back up through the ring or whatever. Now at this point, as my whole ceiling cracks, I have not loaded it in a while. At this point, I come back through the cuff. There's usually other options. I think you can come back through the double bite. I usually come through the cuff where I started, or the Y hanger underneath. It's usually like the Y hanger that I do. So it usually comes underneath here. And now either if you have a lot, we can come back up here and do some more. If you need to lock off up here, this has long been one of my, and like you really should probably wrap it a couple of times, but honestly, what I've long done in a lot of my self-suspensions, I come up for the third time like this, go like that, and that's my quick release. And then I may do something with this excess here, or I usually won't wrap it up with that much excess, but basically the stand remains. Whenever I need it to come out, it comes out. Now, a more proper lock off, if you're doing it up here, would be, wrap it twice. And wrapping it a couple times is always a good idea. And then you would come and do you'll pull through there, and then you would do your bloopy doop, or whatever you call it. Bloop and doop. See? Watch. Bloop, doop. Just like that. And then, I can't remember, there was a fun method Illy and I learned to hold your excess. Remember Lo taught us? It was like, you go like this. It's a slip knot thing. I think it's just something like this. I can't remember, but it was nothing. It's actually nothing like that. But yeah, there was a really neat method of cleaning up uplines, which I'm not incredibly well versed in. But that is a double bite upline. If you wanted to lock off down below, which with this much extra rope, that's what you would want to do anyway. Come back down again. Wrap it. And there's, a similar thing, just bloopy doop it. And there, bloopy dooped. There's other lock-offs. I know several. But these, honestly, these are the only ones I use. It's either this or that quick release one. And then there's that one where you split the rope and go through it. I use that one too sometimes. I forget which one it is where you split the rope and go through. I think it's the one Honey prefers. Okay, let me take this one apart and we'll go over Y hanger. So double bites are the best for hoisting and stuff like that. Like once you feed it through that double and you get it back around, this is how I learned to injure myself. You can hoist yourself up with the double bite, and that's super, super duper handy. I say is how I learned to injure myself because that's the method I did that self-hoist on for the Agura, where I flubbed the lock off like 3 times and spent too much time holding my own body weight upside down. And I think what happened, I think I found a name for it too. It's like I got like a hernia like in here somewhere or something like that, and it's like pinching like a nerve here in my arm, which is causing like issues up in here. I've been doing nerve gliding exercises and stuff like that, but yeah, that sucks. It's more like in both arms too. I think it's just most noticeable in this one because I have like RSI. I think in that too. But the left one, like if I spend too much time like fiddling with my arms above my head, like oof, that motherfucker gets tired. Illy. Do we have a class clown here, Illy? That's a joke. It's a clown joke. It's a clown joke. Anyway, we're going to go over uplines. Uplines. We're going to go over white hangers. Okay. Actually, you know what? Maybe a fudo would be better to do a white hanger with on this one. You know what? We'll just do a little lift here. This will be a fun little experiment here. We'll hook on an upline to my chest, and then we'll do a fudo, and we'll lift both. Yeah, nobody laugh at that. Nobody laugh at that. I like how they took away their reaction. They're like redacted. Okay, I got another piece of rope. Redacted. Okay, this is gonna be great. Okay, we're gonna upline the chest to have it ready, and we're gonna hook it in, and then we're gonna sit down on the floor, do a fudo, and we're gonna lift them both, and just see how that goes. See how that goes. So we're gonna do double bite. We're gonna do one more of the double bites on here. So make your little cuff. It's always gonna be better like this. Let's see. Make your little cuff, and then you can do your bow line. And that is where you take your work in, wrap around, pin it. I think I did it right. I don't know. We'll walk it close. I think I did it backwards. I don't really know, but I think it's fine. Anyway, so you'll do that, and then you'll double bite it. So make sure you you want it not too long, not too short. Loop. Watch that one time. Loop. Because you're not only looping it with your fingers, you're opening it up. And see, that's the double. That's when you've done it too much. You see how I just did it twice. So, once. And when you tighten it, it's like you pull down, and then you finish it by pulling up. And I rolled over the other one. There. Pulling up. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and tie this in. Sort of. So, and this is a good way to do it. Most of my suspensions, I will harness up hips, whatever, chest, and then I will sit down on the floor, do a fudo, stand up one-legged, and then actually do the suspension. So doing this move right here is actually something as a self-suspender that I think is really important. You're kind of like faux setting your upline. So what you're doing is you've got it set here, and now you need to go ahead and go down, let it release out because you're going to need enough space there to comfortably sit. So about there. So hold that, go back up. Try not to mess up what you just set. Go down like this, and then figure out some way to hold your rope in place. Like, do leg, I'm gonna do this. There. Okay. There. And that way, now that I'm on the ground, everything's set, and when I want to actually hoist my chest up or my leg or whatever, it's not going to be that hard. Okay, real quick, we'll bust out a suspension fudo and we'll lift that with a Y hanger. Okay, let's see. Oh boy, that's a little tight. Tension. Reset my tension. Okay. I'm not really going to go over a proper fudo method because I feel like in the structured fudo class I kind of covered everything. I'm going to do a double band with a single kanuki, I think. So there's one. Chose the best pants to tie on ever. Here I go into my kanuki. Doing the worst fingering job right now. There we go. And that is my ideal fudo on an 8-meter piece for a lift. An extra band is way better, a third band, especially if you're doing a single lift, like a single fudo. We're going to do this, see how this goes. It's one of my old stopper knots. It looks like it's not great. Whew. Okay, so we're going to do a quad band Y hanger on this. Okay, so we're going to grab it in 4 spots. Okay. Come under once. Under that one. And come under that one. And you're going to need a lot of bite pull through for something like this. And you hop over here, come under this one. And hop up into here and come under this one. Okay, so that is essentially how you start. Now where you're gripping it is going to be, and you're going to kind of have to feel this out and work this out. And it's going to take practice. But you're going to pull everywhere it needs to pull. You need to have this all evenly together. And this is really unfortunate. I wish this was not in my way right now. Okay, let me stop or not. It's coming apart. Okay, so that is everywhere you're going to pull, all evenly. So the best way to do that, and there's some tricks, like there's one way you can like lay the rope on its side, a certain way to tell if they're even or not. But you're just gonna have to pull and feel the tension until you just kind of understand. I don't know, that's bad advice. But anyway, the way you're gonna finish this up is you're going to, and I may have, This is the thing with my Y hangers. They usually come out dirty, but they work. So you're going to take all of them, and then you're going to cross the working end over, and like you're going to fit all these together. And then it's like you take your bite and you go through all the loops that you made. I always think of Star Fox, the old Star Fox video game where you have to fly through like the arches or whatever, or the rings. I always try to line these things up, and I always think about that. But yeah, so your job is to line these things up with the tension as evenly as you can. And then you're going to take your bite and you're going to fly through all the rings and make sure you have them all. Because if you miss one, it's not going to hold weight. And now there's a move here, I think it's like an overhand knot, where you take the bite and the working end and you do, I think that's exactly what it is. It's an overhand knot. My bite is a little small here. Yeah, that's what it is. It's an overhand knot, and then from here you can double bite it, if your bite is not too small. Yeah, and then from here, you go like this, loopy bloop and a loopy bloop. And that is your Y hanger. This part is way off right here. So let's do that one more time. Let's try to do that a little bit more clean. And I think I see the part where I kind of messed up on. Like, okay. And my concern, I think on some of these Y hangers too, is like my working end and my bite are usually very close, and I feel like they're supposed to be like on opposite ends or something, but anyway, let's do it one more time. So we're underneath all the ropes we want to pull. We're going to faux pull them, measure out what we need, make sure our bite doesn't get sucked up. We may need to do a move like this to get more bite out so we don't go hungry. There. And you don't want your uplines, you don't want your Y hanger to be like long. You want it to have a little bit of space, but you don't want it to be like all long. Okay. Threaten to screw everything up here, but there it goes. More bite. That's the hardest thing, I think, is trying to like force more bite out if you didn't take enough. There we go. So I've got all three in my little Star Fox thing. Incorporate the fourth one in there somehow, and we'll do our little loop where we fly through the rings with the bite. So we go through the rings, and now we're here, we do our overhand knot. I think you might do it twice too, actually. Yeah, I think it's this, and then maybe you actually do it again. And then you double bite it. Yeah. And I left a shit ton of bite there, so it's gonna be all weird, but it's fine. This is gonna be long. Okay. So that is a suspension, in my opinion, my suspension worthy Fudo Y hanger. I'm gonna go ahead and thread this through the ring. We are gonna attempt a little double hoist here. And we're gonna go ahead and do a temporary holder for it. Okay. Actually, that looks like shit. No, let's see. So you're doing I could have obviously just stood up. I just wanted to show how you can hoist up. So at this point, I would lock off up here by going back through. Keep your balance. Back through the cuff. This is another reason why you don't want to do a single column cuff too tight, because you want to go back through it usually. You know what? I wonder if I can do a weird thing over here too on this other claw. Let's play around with this thing. Okay, come on, push through. There we go. Then we'll do a lock off up here by wrapping once, twice, and 3 times. Is that called Naki? Or I can't remember what the name for that lock off is. And then there's that. Now I'm going to do a loopy loop for this one because there's, to me, on a heavily loaded chest harness, there's usually not a reason to have a quick release. I mean, I don't think so. Because usually this is the point, if this is the last thing you'll take off, and it's usually something you can stand and feel stable in. Okay. Just eating up a little excess that I'm not very good at. I will do a quick release with excess a lot of the times. And that way when I want to start to untie, the excess is easy to come out. Okay, so now we're coming back to this, which we have preset, sort of. So it's ready to start hoisting. Let's just make sure we're not too tangled. There we go. Just like that. Double bite makes for easy hoisting. Come back down through your Y hanger. I mean, you can go through the double bite again, but usually you got more rope, and I think it's better to do this anyway. And then I don't really want to go back through it again. Whatever. Let's do it. We'll lock off down here maybe. Yeah. Wrap once, wrap twice. We don't really have a lot here for anything substantial, so we can do a couple of hitches, which I don't like to do. We may not even have enough here. Double hitching will typically hold most things. But even if this were to, if this hitch were to come loose, this is not what's holding me. This is. So I would have some warning here, but there's enough wrapping here that I actually trust this, and if I want to be extra safe, I could do a stopper knot here to kind of prevent that hitch from releasing as easily. Do like a fisherman's knot or something. Something to bulk it up so it won't slide as easy. At this point, test your hard point. You never know when your ceiling could just decide to fucking fail you. And that is your self-suspension. Whee! I have not done one in so long. Super cozy. Now, at this point, you usually always want a rigging check. As soon as you get up, as soon as you got your weight up, you need to check everything that you just did, see what's coming loose, what sucks, what's slipping. Don't forget to enjoy it if you're able to. Hi. Nice. Get that food unloaded. Oh. And then, if you're real brave, you have to do some spinnies, some victory spinnies. Oh, good time to check it. Your chest harness, your body check, see how you're feeling. See how everything's holding up again. As you get into self-suspension, you'll probably be a lot more paranoid. Just like you feel like you're carrying around a loaded gun or something. It's like until you learn to trust that thing, you're going to be nervous. You're just thinking like, oh, it's going to go off, it's going to go off. But yeah, trusting your equipment, trusting your skill are things that do not come quickly or easily. Whee! Sorry, I just haven't spun in a while. It's good shit. I meant to do a single fudo lift the other day, I just haven't done it yet. I am autistic. I require compression and spinning, or I get dysregulated sometimes. Anyway, that is my tutorial on uplines. Sort of. Oh god. Oh my god. Every time you hear a noise, you're like, oh fuck. Okay, let me get out of this, and then I'll stop the video. So, reverse engineering what we have done. We always want to, you know, when it comes to self-suspension, I always come down the way I came up. Now, could I transition to a single fudo? Yeah, we should probably do that. Also, when you have a rule, it's usually important to at some point, like, break it. Now we're getting into the dark teacher side. Teach you the dark arts here. But honestly, I would be remiss if I didn't test this single fudo real quick. It's great, it's fine, and when it comes to transitioning out of something and you're going to a single fudo that you trust, like that's probably your lowest risk maneuver. It's too low. But anyway, God, I have not done self-suspension in so long. This shit is fun. Why did I stop tying? Okay. Undo your weird, janky little fisherman's knot here. One day I'm going to learn to do a self-fisherman's harness, I swear. Mermaid tie, fisherman's harness, fisherman's knots. It'll be like that movie, The Lighthouse. Only in color. Willem Dafoe will be there. That one, no, he will. Okay. At this point, you can practice controlling your descent if you want. If you're one of those people. That is a controlled descent. Thank you for coming to my TED Talks. That was the worst thing. Okay. Real quick before I end the video, since I've been going over rope handling a lot, I wanted to go over just a couple. Oh shit! I gotta get the fudo off. A couple of rope handling tricks when it comes to untying. I think how you untie and how you're able to untie says a lot about how you tie, and the methods and whatnot. So I think, like as she says, she's all tangled up and stuff. I think at this point I'm getting to where I have a lot to say about the untying process and how crucial it is to learning how to like handle your rope, because you get to practice all the things, you know, the milking the cow, all those things. But more importantly, especially when you're using ends that are easy to like pull through and whip. You know, I throw Willem Dafoe gifts in the fucking chat. Oh my god. That's hilarious. Dude, I didn't realize he was also the guy in Nosferatu during that little like exorcism scene. I was sitting there like, that looks like Willem Dafoe. And I did the same thing in The Lighthouse where I'm sitting there for like 20 minutes like, that looks like Willem Dafoe. And then just threw that thought out of my head. It is. Okay, get the fudo off. Okay, so, am I kind of untying? Picking should be at a minimal. Everything should be like hooking and popping basically. And then as you kind of like, we're gonna learn how to not whip ourselves in the face today. Yeah, everything like, and you get a chance to do that thing where you hold your rope like a stick. See like how every time I'm doing like a pull through and stuff, it's not like, you know, getting like floppy or anything. I think doing a lot of this kind of practice and learning how to, and then we got into moves like this, ways to prevent you from whipping yourself and others in the face. Is that Willem Dafoe dressed as a house? I wonder if anybody's ever said that sentence before. That's like my sleep paralysis demon, is him showing up being like, I'm in a boat. Like with them weird, like weird wide eyes, you know? And I'm just like, please wake up, please wake up. He's here again. The Willem Dafoe house is here again. Okay, so chest harnesses in particular. Ignore the uterus symbology back there. Let's see. I'm not getting a chance to show anything because I'm having to pick my fucking upline, basically. Picking. And that's why, like, the loopy bloops and some of these other things, these are picking knots. These are picking knots. The only thing you should be fucking picking is a goddamn guitar around a campfire. I want to go to a burn. I want to go to a Burning Man thing so bad. Flipside's in April. I want to go so bad. Anyway. So. Untying. Picking. I gotta pick this one out because I tied it off because I was... It's bad. It's bad. I need to be punished. Okay. We're being weird. Why? What is even going on here? Reverse engineer your bullshit. Miranda 19. Whatever. It's like some jank-ass rope extension I did. Okay, I have no tips or lessons on untying today, apparently. Okay, there's one. Okay, so when you're, where'd it go? Alright, fuck this. When you're pulling, when you're picking in a pulling, and you go like this, so this hand right here is going to do so much work if you are fucking, because I swear to God, that's going to help you. So doing things like that and recognizing when you're really in a flow state and you're fucking going, especially when you're going fucking fast like this, going like this is going to help you so much not whip yourself in the face. And I think that speaks of the rope control that is so important that you see so many people like kind of lacking sometimes is having control of the rope and not hurting people. I popped my boyfriend in the eye like twice at one time. And that was like, I think, a moment where I was like, I've got to control my rope. That's a great way to end the video. Bye.